Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Conor Ben already lost. Eubank Jr. won. Simple. Anybody trying to put money on Conor Ben, stop now. Don't do it. And if you've done it, try to get your money back. And if you haven't done it, good job. Put your money on Eubank Jr. Now, the thing is, Conor Ben had a sparring partner. This is why you almost want to get a gag order on these guys and tell them, look, don't talk about your sparring with me. Don't talk about it. If it's a sparring session that took place a year ago, 2 years ago, that doesn't matter. But someone who's presently in your camp, helping you prepare for an upcoming fight, they shouldn't be out here talking. Anyway, Conor Ben, one of his sparring partners, out here talking. Right? BoxingScene.com has a YouTube channel now. And it's one of the interviews they have up there. And the individual is sitting there saying, everything that would lead you to believe that Chris Eubank Jr. is going to not just put the bing-bings on Conor Ben, but knock him out. Look, Conor Ben's just too small. And that's what I gathered from the interview. He's just too small. He's short. Eubank Jr. is much taller. He's not the largest fighter. So as a result, Eubank Jr. will dwarf him on fight night. And what I mean by that is, look at Canelo. He's, 5'8", fighting guys that are 6'1", 6'2". But Canelo is thick. Conor Ben's not like that. And the sparring partner came out and basically said, Conor Ben at, middleweight, junior welterweight, super middleweight, he feels Conor Ben can hang with those guys because he's explosive, he's fast, but ultimately just doesn't have the power and just doesn't have the size to compete and keep up with these guys. Now, he also said, we'll talk about at welterweight, he felt Conor Ben has a much better chance at welterweight fighting a guy like Barrios and felt that he would compete. He didn't say he would beat Boots Ennis, but he said he would definitely it'll be a competitive fight. He also said that he'd be concerned about Conor Ben after the Eubank Jr. fight, trying to, melt away the muscle that he's putting on to get back down to 147. So for me, when I look at this, I'm telling you, in my opinion, Conor Ben already lost. However, if Conor Ben can come in and clip Eubank Jr., I think that man deserves the gold star. You understand? That man deserves more than just the money he's getting paid. Get that man a medallion, give him a ribbon, give him a trophy, get that man free food at Kentucky Fried Chicken, since that seems to be Eubank Jr.'s favorite spot for a year. Because this is just a fight he can't win. And even if he's competitive, he still, to me, loses if he goes back to 147 because now he's melting off muscle. And we all know you don't play around with weight classes. You don't just jump up and come down. There's only one guy who was effectively doing that before the unfortunate motorcycle accident, and that was Paul Williams. Paul Williams is the only one to whip your ass at 168, whip your ass at 160, whip your ass at 154, and come at 147 and whip your ass. And if the stars line up, who knows? He may have got his ass down to 140. That guy was just a freak. But just don't make him like that anymore. Anyway, Eubank Jr., he hasn't looked like the monster that clipped Yildirim. He hasn't looked like the monster that faced Groves, that faced Billy Joe Saunders. But even in those fights, you saw there was something special about Eubank Jr. I just think Eubank Jr. getting away from his dad, being with Roy Jones, being with whoever he's with now, psychologically, where is he at? I think he's bringing it all together for this training camp and facing Conor Ben, because neither one of these guys want to lose. You know what I'm saying? Is it a money grab? Yeah, it's a money grab. I think it's more a money grab for Eubank Jr. than Conor Ben, but it's a money grab for both. I just think the money aspect weighs heavily on Eubank Jr. Now, as far as legacy, I think both of them are fighting for legacy. Neither want to lose, but I think Conor Ben has a little more heart into this fight. And a little more invested in this fight because he's like, my last name matters. And it matters to Eubank Jr., but you could just tell with Conor Ben, he's like, F this. You had to kill me. I'm not going to lose, because he basically feels if I lose to Eubank Jr., I didn't just lose for the first time to him. My dad lost a third time. So that's going to create another interesting element and I think a bit of suspense as the rounds, if they become really tough for Conor Ben, where he's going to have those moments where we find him, able to up it and possibly come back and win a round or two. But that being said, I'm going with what the sparring partner said about Conor Ben. Look, he gave him his credit. He can box. He's explosive. He's fast. He hits you. It's not the kind of shot that hits you and stuns you or dazes you, but it hits you and you're like, and it's not very impactful, he said. He hits you and you're like, oh shit, I felt that, but it's nothing that you're like, I don't want to get hit with that again. So sounds like Eubank Jr. should be able to handle whatever Conor Ben is dishing out. But like they say in the WWE, if he can smell what the bin is cooking, that shit was corny, but you get my point. My only concern for Eubank Jr. is the weight cut, 160, and his inability to rehydrate to where he's comfortable. So that's going to, again, another layer of suspense. You know what I'm saying? We just don't know what direction the fight's going to go. When you take all of that into consideration, at the end of the day, I just think Conor Ben loses. All right? And I think he already lost since the damn sparring partners come out and said the man can't. He was able to crack an egg before, but he ain't cracking those eggs right now. So, good luck to both of them, and hopefully whatever happens, they can still go out and target major fights and make major money. Win-win to me for Eubank Jr. He beats Conor Ben. He goes on and does something great. And I kind of think it's a win-win for Conor Ben. If he loses to him, nobody expected him to win anyway because he's so much smaller. Then he goes on and probably campaigns at 147 if he takes the weight off smartly and maybe wins the title. So either way it goes, they both get paid good money. I'm hearing all kind of numbers, 10, 15, 20 million. I don't know what the final number is, but they're about to get paid some serious dough. And their careers will continue. Y'all keep cool in the breeze.